Day number 2. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The Gamers Assembly 2019 is gonna go into its winner bracket final. We have 4 amazing players that have gotten through the winner bracket. Up until this point, we have Tween from Team Sampi. We have Kappa, his teammate as well, that has reached this point of the bracket. We have Pack for Gamers Origin, and we have Dutchy for Team Venture. So we have 4 amazing grand final quality players that have gotten themselves to this match, which is going to be the first one that's going to play on this Sunday, the Gamers Assembly Tech Tournament that is spread across 2 days. And here we are with the first match of the day, and it is immediately an amazing match to begin with. The rules will be as per usual, however the point limit is now going to be 120 since we're in the winner bracket final. That is something that is always done when we are progressed that far into the bracket. So the point limit is going to be 120 with finalist mode. The point repartition will remain the same, 10, 6, 4 and 3. We're going to play 5 rounds per map, and the top 2 will qualify themselves for the grand final, and the bottom 2 will play it out in the consolidation final. We're going to start on the first map here. We're going to start it immediately on Exhale, the map by Bastimon and Wouter. And this one's going to be an absolute banger. I'm really looking forward to this one, and let's follow Gamers Origin Pack from the United Kingdom, who has been playing an outstanding match so far. And that was already a first blunder by Tween. Already a weak start for the Slovakian player right here. For Team Sampi, already lost 1 second in the early stage of the track right here in round number 1. So he's going to be out of this one already. Dutchy finding himself in position 3 right now. Pack and Kappa, who have been playing out of their minds on this LAN event yesterday, have won every single match that they have played by quite a big margin actually. So Pack and Kappa probably the ones that are the favorites in this match. Dutchy and Tween certainly need to hope for a bunch of mistakes and maybe a miracle to qualify themselves to the grand final immediately through the winner bracket final. Pack will win this one with a 53.37, already a great time to begin with. Kappa trailing behind with 12 hundredths of a disadvantage, and then we have Dutchy and Tween on position 3 and 4. Going into the next one here, so of course you gotta keep in mind that we have 3 of the 4 finalists from the TrackMania World Championship 2018 actually playing it out today. The only one that is not coming from the TrackMania World Championship is Dutchy. So that is an absolutely insane match that we have right here. High quality driving by all of the players, and round number 2 is actually ongoing with no one having made a blunder so far. Everyone being extremely close to each other. Kappa almost hugging the wall on the inside there on the right side, but he manages to stabilize and actually moves himself up to 3rd place right now. Tween getting a little bit of an awkward bump on the inside. Randstein almost touches the wall on the left side, has to correct his line. Pack will take over the lead for now, but he is being chased down by Sampi Kappa. We're dropping down into the last right-hander. Who's going to get the inside line? Who's going to get more speed? Pack going out a little wide here, but he gets the speed. He gets the low jump, and he will stay 100th ahead of Kappa. Very great racing here up front. Dutchy and Tween once again taking 3rd and 4th place, but that was a great race here by Pack and Kappa. So Pack right now with the clean sweep. He has gotten 2 first places in a row, 20 points for him. Kappa getting 2 second places with 12 points. Dutchy having 8 points so far, and Tween with 6 points only. Speaking about Tween, he already gets a little bit of bump over that underground border, so that is a little bit of a time loss for him. But he was able to stabilize pretty well though, and he will still remain on the track despite being a little further behind now. He's already 2/10 of a second behind the leader, which is Kappa right now. So let's take a look here at the players that are following him. Pack now with the first mistake here, but he is funnily enough actually not being overtaken by Tween, who must have done another massive mistake right here. So Tween once again not with the smoothest start here. Tween seemingly having some problems finding into the matches. We have seen that yesterday as well, where Tween wasn't really able to come to his normal standards in the beginning of the match. He got a little better going through the matches, like later on in the later stages of the matches. He always got a little faster, a little more consistent. But Tween seemingly struggling again with finding the pace. However, Pack has actually made his first mistake right here, so the clean sweep is over. However, he will remain on position number 1 with 24 points. And we have a tie between Dutchy and Kappa, both having 18 points. And that was a first mistake by Dutchy this time in turn 1. And also Pack with another mistake, the second mistake in a row. That is going to be quite a confidence... Yeah, a negative confidence boost for him maybe, knowing that he did 2 of these small mistakes in a row. That is the Pack that we don't really know, you know? Pack usually not making these mistakes very often. But here they are happening twice in a row. So that's a little bit of a confidence killer here. But I think he will be able to recover from that. Let's take a look here at the 2 Sampy players. We have Tween actually being very, very far in the lead right here. He's leading over his teammate by a whole 0.2 of a second. So Tween most likely going to take his first 10-pointer. And that is going to push him up very, very far into the scoreboard. He's going to make the first, the last jump through the finish line. So Tween will actually clock in a sick time here as well. 53.24. That is actually incredibly fast, considering the world record is only a 0.11. So Tween only 1300ths away from the world record here in round number 4. Tween now back at it. Tween with the comeback here after having made a couple mistakes. Now he is back at it. So that's just what Tween kind of is about. As I said earlier, Tween stumbling a little bit in the beginning of the matches, but then he just finds himself back into the matches, and that's just how it shows how strong his confidence really is, and that's just it shows how good his mentality is as well. He doesn't get pushed back by negative results, but he just keeps pushing forward and just forgets about what happened before. And that's just how he's able to clock in these good times after having made a couple of these blunders. Right now, however, he's finding himself on position number 4 only. Not the greatest start for him. Goes out very wide here as well. Almost touches the wall on the right side, but he will remain on the track. Dutchy is actually leading this race, and all of these 3 players are actually really, really close to each other. Pack now going for the inside line here, trying to attack Dutchy in the last turn, in the last jump, but it won't be enough to go for the overtake here. So it will be Dutchy that takes 10 points here with a 0.37. A great time here as well. Pack on second, Kappa on third, and Tween will get last with a 53.795. Map number 2 will be a Poitiers. The map by Thompson. And the point standing looking as follows. We have 33 points for Pack. We have 32 for Dutchy. 28 points on Kappa's account, and Tween sitting there with a 11-point deficit towards first place. Tween right now with 22 points after map 1. However, that is nothing. Keep in mind the point limit is 120, so there's so much more possible, and the players know that, since all of these 4 players are very experienced TrackMania competitors, also in offline and online events. So these players certainly know what they're going into, and they certainly know what they're doing as well. So I won't be worried about any of those 4 players at this point. World record here being held by Kappa as well. He is still holding all 5 world records, I believe, at this point. So Kappa holding the world record here with a 53.715. Let's see how close the players are going to get to that time in the following 5 rounds on Poitiers. Let's take a look at Tween. Maybe he's going to be able to come back here on map number 2. Maybe the first map wasn't really that great for him. Of course, as always, players can have their favorite maps, and then maps that they maybe don't like that much. Maps where they can't really perform up to their standards. However, Tween with the weakest start right now, already in a 0.26 deficit after having not that great of a start right here. So let's just take a look at some of the other players here. For example, Kappa, who is going out very wide onto the platform. This is a line that we have seen yesterday already, so this is just his line that he's always taking, the line that he's comfortable with. And he's coming closer and closer to Dutchy, who doesn't really get the greatest speed out of the section. Dutchy also going a little bit wider here, opts for more exit speed. And there's the touch on the right side. Both getting really, really close to the outside here. And apparently everyone has made a mistake right here. Pack actually getting the greatest exit speed out of the final corner right here. But Kappa dies! Kappa dies at the end. And he goes from 0 to 0. within a blink of an eye right there. He does not make the jump through the last hole into the finish line, and he goes from 1st to 4th place. That is going to be a massive, massive throwback here for the Czech player. Point loss for him. So Pack will have the biggest smile on his face right now. He is the one that capitalized the most, even though everyone has made a mistake in the final sector of the track. So Pack will get another 10-pointer here, and now finding himself 5 points ahead of Dutchy in the total score. Dutchy now having to release a little bit on the uphill, and on the uphill, that's where speed management is especially important, since the car's acceleration, of course, on uphills, you know it from real life, it is always a bit harder to accelerate on uphills, and this is exactly what Dutchy was essentially suffering from. So Dutchy now with quite a substantial time loss right here, finding himself 0.28 behind already, and makes another mistake right here on the right side. So Dutchy definitely eliminated out of this round. We're going to have a look here at the two Sampis. Tween right now leading over his teammate Kappa. Tween going very tight around the pillars right here. Kappa with a little bit more speed, and also Pack trying to attack right here. And Kappa makes it again. He is not able to make the last jump, and he's actually on his roof, and he's unable to finish. DNF for Kappa. Kappa once again unable to make the jump through the last hole. He's consistently jumping too low, and that's the second time of his row that 2018 World Champion Kappa is failing to finish off his job in the round. So Kappa down to last place. Pack now with an early mistake, and Dutchy as well, both making the same mistake here on the outside of the underground turn. So both of them actually really far back, so it will be played out here between the two Sampi players. Kappa now, of course, wants to redeem himself. He knows that he can do better than that, and he knows that these mistakes should not happen. He has not done any sort of these mistakes yesterday, on Saturday, at the Gamers Assembly 2019, and he's going to be very upset about that, because Kappa is a really, like, he's a perfectionist, and he knows that mistakes should not happen, especially when we're playing it out here for the two first slots in the grand final of this competition. Kappa now attempting to go through the hole as well. He goes out really wide this time. Makes sure that he accumulates enough height to get through the hole, and this time he is successful and clocks in a 54.10. 2/10 in front of Tween. Pack getting 3rd and Dutchy getting last. So Kappa coming a little bit closer again, but he's still last. He is 12 points behind the leader, who still is Gamers Origin Pack, going into round number 4 on map 2. That was a really close exit by Pack. Almost did the same mistake again. Not sure if you saw that on your screens, but he was just millimeters away from the outside wall there. So Pack now attacking very, very aggressively here through the turns and goes up to 1st place. Dutchy finding himself on 2nd right now. Kappa with the next mistake. What is happening to Kappa? The 3rd error here on Poitiers. That is not the Kappa we used to know. So he is going to be out of it already. Tween also having a little bit of a deficit right here, finding himself roughly 0.15 behind here on the blue part. And also here he's going a little bit too wide. So it will be between Dutchy and Pack here, coming towards the last turn. Pack makes it beautifully right here. Dutchy coming a tiny tad closer, but it won't be enough to pass him. Pack actually with a sub 54 time, which is incredibly fast considering we're playing under very heavy circumstances here. So Pack with a 53.99. We haven't seen a lot of 53 times here in this competition, so that is definitely a really crazy time. Pack extending his lead now, and he's leading by 12 points. Final round here on Poitiers. We have the 5th round. The two Sampis kind of struggling a little bit right here. Maybe not their map. They have one more chance to get rid of their mistakes and to get the points that they should have gotten in the rounds before. Tween leading over Dutchy, both having a very, very similar trajectory here. Tween with a little bit of a more outside line. Both actually neck and neck here, 4 thousandths apart at the ring checkpoint. And here's Kappa. Kappa now attacking with the inside line here. Kappa wants to have a saying as well. Let's take a look at Pack. He is too far behind and makes a mistake. So it will be between the two Sampis and the former Sampi Dutchy. who makes a mistake now. So it will be... Oh, Tween with the no slide here. And he might actually get snacked here by Dutchy and maybe by Pack as well. Tween lacking the speed and he will have to go for the bonus finish here on the right side. So it will be Kappa that gets the 10 points with a 54.08. And then we have a 0.7 gap down to Dutchy. You'll take second place. So this round was a little bit all over the place. Everyone besides Kappa has made a mistake somewhere on the track. So Kappa will now go up to third place in total. 54 points, but still 13 points behind the leader, Pack. Dutchy staying solid and steady on P2 right now with 57 points. And then Tween and Kappa right now. Always a little bit of a back and forth here right now, at least in POC tent. They certainly have shown a couple of flaws. So maybe they will be able to iron them out here on Invictus by MD point, where the world record, as I said before, is also held by Kappa himself. It is a 55.091. So this is going to be our third map. We're now pretty much halfway through the match. The point limit is 120 with finalist mode. And Pack is now halfway through with 67 points. 10 points ahead of the Flying Dutchman from Team Venture, who's right now sitting there with 57 points. Kappa 3 points behind, and Tween also another 5 points behind Kappa. So nothing's decided yet, I would say. All the positions can still be fought out for. But I believe Pack will be on a steamroll here on this track. I believe it will be pretty difficult to beat Pack here on this one. He has shown a really, really good performance here. So let's see what Kappa will be able to put onto the asphalt here. But this track will for sure be interesting to see. Especially with the ending here, with the little transition over the tent into the finish line, where you need to accumulate enough speed beforehand in the right-hander and also take the tent a little bit as a ramp, that it gives you a little bit of extra height, because that's what you need to make it to the finish line. Here we go into round number 1. So let's follow Kappa here, the world record holder of all Gamers Assembly maps 2019. Right now, he finds himself a little bit behind, but then again, I mean, the start isn't really too exciting as of now, not really too determining right now. Kappa snacking himself. Dutchy, very, very close trajectories right here. Tween with a little bit of a speed disadvantage here, going over the platform. And also Pack going out very, very wide here. Not the greatest approach here for him. And Kappa will go from P3 to P1 here in this turn combination. That was Dutchy making a mistake here in that left-hander. So he's going to be eliminated out of this round. Kappa, Tween, and Pack now battling it out here for the first place. Kappa being a 10th ahead, and he gets very, very good speed out of this section. Tween now hitting the pole with his back end, and it will be between Kappa and Pack now, who will survive the ending. Good line here for Kappa. I don't think he's going to mess this one up. Jumps very, very far right, and he clocks in a 55.5. Pack with a 0.7, and Dutchy will still take third place after that mistake. Where's Tween? Tween with a DNF, and that is going to hurt a lot, actually, because now the gap between third and fourth is going to be 12 points. So that is a very, very bad round for Tween, unfortunately. Round number 2. Pack now up to 73. Kappa actually regained position number 2 in the scoreboard. He is now passing Dutchy here by 3 points. So Kappa now trying to come back here, even though this round he is only fighting for position number 3 with his former teammate Dutchy. This left-hander is going to be very, very important. Who is going to make a mistake? Wow, what an exit by Pack. Look at the speed that Pack got out of that section. Kappa now stumbling a little bit over that Randstein there, but that wasn't really too bad. He's still able to stabilize and maintains a lot of speed here over the freewheel section. And now it is actually going to be the first mistake for Kappa here on this track, so he's going to be out of this one. Pack is leading, and he's most likely going to win this round. Tween going out wide. I'm not sure if he's going to make the jump. He is going to make the jump and is only 2 thousandths of a second ahead of Dutchy, who was almost able to snipe Tween here by taking a little bit of a tighter line midair and almost past Tween, who stumbled a little bit over that finish edge. So we're seeing a bunch of mistakes, and as I say that, it is actually Kappa making another mistake. Oh, and Pack now! Whoa, Pack! Can he unturtle? Can Pack unturtle? And he will! Clap! Pack actually unturtles, ladies and gentlemen. What a player. What a player. Alright, so let's get back into the round here. We have Tween versus Dutchy. Respawns are, of course, disabled, so Pack's only chance to maybe finish this round. I'm not sure how far behind he is, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to reach the finish line with the finish timeout of 10 seconds. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough for him. But we have Tween in a very comfortable lead here. Unless he makes a mistake in the ending, this is going to be an important 10-pointer for him. And he's going to take it home here with a 55.567. Dutchy on second, Kappa on third, and now all eyes on Pack. Nah, he's too far behind. He is too far behind, but great effort by Thomas Cole nonetheless. He will remain at 83 points, which will enable Dutchy and Kappa to close in to the leader of this race by at least a little bit. So Dutchy and Kappa now actually tying in total score. They're both sitting there with 71 points, and then it is Tween with 65. Not too far behind, but he wasn't really able to do any sort of damage really. He barely took any 10-pointers. But maybe here in this round, he's actually going to do that again twice in a row. He is off to a good start here, is battling it out here with Pack, who now made a mistake. So it is another bad round for the UK player. He's going to be out of this one again. Tween in the lead with a very, very interesting line. Not going to be the best approach for this one. So Kappa will actually close in on the freewheel section. Neck and neck here between the two Team Sampi players. Dutchy being a little bit behind. He needs an absolute banger of an ending to make anything happen. Let's take a look here at Kappa. Kappa opting for the risky inside line. Tween going out wider, and he's actually going to go for the safe finish because he went out too wide and he knew that he's not going to take the tent in a way that it would push him into the finish line. So Tween with a position loss right there, but at least he registered it in time, so he didn't just yeet himself into the abyss right there at the end with that approach that he had. So Tween with a save, but he lost 2 points. Kappa now closing into Pack. Pack making a bunch of mistakes right here, so now the gap between first and second is only 5 points. The gap used to be a lot bigger, so Pack definitely with his weakest map here so far on Invictus, making a bunch of mistakes and even getting one DNF, which was one of his first one, if not his first one, in this entire Gamers Assembly. Going into the last round here on Invictus, we have Dutchy off to the slower start right now, but he's going to give us a good overview here over what's going to happen here in the top field. Tween right now on third, trying to close in, trying to make something happen. Pack going out a little wide here. He has a couple kilometers an hour more, so he will come a little tiny tad closer to Kappa. But this line is going to be a little bit better for Kappa here. Gets more exit speed out of the left-hander, so this one should be set in stone unless Kappa is making a mistake here at the end, which he will not do. But Pack is jumping too far left! But he survives. He survives, but it's another 4th place, and Pack is gonna shake his head. He is not gonna be happy about his performance whatsoever, because that could have been a really, really good point gain. So now he's actually gonna lose his 1st place to Kappa, who clocked in a point 38. So that is actually a crazy time by Kappa, who is now taking over the lead. He was 4th in the total score. He was 4th, and now he's 1st. So Kappa with a crazy comeback. He is having that poker face. He just does not care what happened before. He is looking forward every single round. And this is what it looked like for him. 91 points now for Sampi Kappa. 2018 World Champion now back in the lead here in the winner bracket final of the Gamers Assembly 2019. He's leading by 2 points over Pack. Dutchy being 8 points behind on position number 3. And Tween will be sitting there with 75 points as of now. We're going to go on to Rebellion by Kaisla, which is going to be our next map here in the rotation. The world record here, as per usual, by Kappa, and it will be a time of 55.66. So I'm pretty sure we're going to come close to those sub 56 times here in the rounds, especially now where it's going to start to heat up. We could potentially see the first finalists here as well. The point limit is 120, so we could potentially see 1, 2, maybe 3 finalists very, very soon. This match is not decided yet. There's a 16-point difference between first and last place. This is nothing. This is nothing in TrackMania. So here we go into the first round. A new map will enable new opportunities for the players. Here we go into the first set of corners. No one making a mistake so far. Kappa going for a very aggressive inside line here, trying to attack Pack here through this right-hander now. Not quite enough yet. Pack really risking it for the biscuit right there at the exit, but it did pay off, and Pack will remain in the lead for now. Dutchy right now on last place, but the gaps between the players are incredibly small. No one really showing any sort of inconsistency so far. Pack now losing a little bit of time right here, is going to get chased down by the two Sampies, and also Dutchy with a greatly executed left-hander. Now the hairpin, very, very important. Two mistakes in a row here by Dutchy and by Pack, so it will be the two Sampies now battling it out here. Into the last corner we go. The right-hander, very important to get the maximum amount of exit speed. It will be Kappa that gets the inside line and jumps a little bit lower, and Tween does not make it. Tween does not make it, but he saved himself pretty nicely right there and was able to drop down into the bonus route pretty easily right there. So Tween from 2nd to 4th, and that will be quite a good opportunity for Pack and Dutchy to get a couple of points back after their mistake in the mid part in the hairpin. Kappa now breaking the 3-digit barrier. He's now up to 101 points. He's leading by 6 points now. And we are going into the next one here. Tween off to the weakest start right now. Not able to keep up with the pace whatsoever. He's already 0.3 behind almost. So that is not the start that Tween wants to have. Dutchy leading over Pack. It is neck and neck here going through the pillars. Kappa going out very wide. Accumulates a little bit more exit speed. So he's going to close in just a little bit here using the slipstream of Dutchy and Pack. But still a whole 10th left to be gained for the Czech player. Now the hairpin, where Dutchy and Pack both made a mistake. This time it is Kappa that makes a mistake. So this corner is incredibly tight to get right. And now this Pack that is going a little bit too aggressively to the inside. So he's going to lose his 2nd place to Tween. Dutchy will take an easy 10-point here. And Tween does not make it again. Tween with the mistake at the end for the 2nd time in a row. Another 3-pointer for him. That is going to hurt. Tween jumping too low again. Also, he is gonna shake his head, making the same mistake twice in a row in a very heated situation like this. Kappa at 105. Pack now gained 2 points. He's now 4 points short. And Dutchy's sitting there lurking in the shadows with 95 points. Going into round number 3 here, ladies and gentlemen. Winner bracket final, and it is tense. Tween in the lead right now. This is a lot better. This start is a lot better. His previous start was not very fast. Ooh, that is a wide exit. He had to completely lift off there. Was a very nice save by Tween though. He remains in lead, but Pack with immense amount of speed is really closing in now. He's putting a lot of pressure onto Tween's shoulders now, and this hairpin is going to be incredibly important to nail. Pack with the understeer hits the wall, and it will be Tween once again in the lead, who is going to get chased down by Dutchy. Will Tween make the same mistake again here in the last jump? Dutchy really risking it for the biscuit right here, and it is actually Dutchy that passes Tween at the end, and this is gonna hurt so much. This is gonna hurt so much for Tween. It is actually unbelievable how unlucky Tween is at the end of this. He gets passed by 300ths of a second, and he's gonna lose on 4 precious points. Dutchy now tying Pack for 105 points. Not sure who that is. He should get banned. Anyway, next round right here. Round number 4. 108, 105, 105 and 87. So this is absolutely not decided yet. Tween is missing. Tween is already very far back, so it will be between Kappa and Pack here for this round. Dutchy a little bit too far away to make any sort of damage, I would guess. He is 2700s behind, so I'm not sure if he's gonna be able to close in here in the second half of the track, even though he's actually pushing it. He actually gained a whole 10th in the previous sector. Dutchy really pushing it right here, but it's not gonna be enough to close in. So let's take a look here between this fight right here. Pack is still leading by 1 car length. This approach looks a bit wonky for Pack. Kappa will close in a little bit, but it won't be enough to go for the overtake. Only 100th behind Pack and Kappa. Kappa going super far right. Tried to trigger the finish line as early as possible, but it wasn't enough to snipe Pack. So Pack will go back into the lead here. 115 to 114 to 109. The top 3 is so close. We might see 2 finalists here. We might see 2 finalists after this round. Dutchy with 109 will not be able to become a finalist in this round. Even if he takes first, he's going to sit there with the slap in the face, 119 points. Let's take a look at the final round on Rebellion. It is once again Pack and Kappa leading over Dutchy and Tween for now. Tween with a very risky exit on the right side. Once again able to stabilize, and what? Tween, that was so close. But he's still pushing it right here. He's pushing it. He knows that he can do some damage and that he can possibly deny something. But there goes the mistake in the hairpin. And it will be Pack and Kappa. Most likely both becoming a finalist right here. Kappa now stumbling over the Randstein. But he's able to stabilize. But he will get sniped by Dutchy actually. Dutchy with the snipe. And he will deny Kappa the finalist. It will be Pack being the only finalist right here in the next round. Dutchy denying his former teammate the finalist status by going for the overtake in the last corner. We are going on to Tranquilo. This is like the most interesting map to appear in this situation. This is the map with by far the hardest difficulty at the end. So this one's gonna be really exciting to watch. The map by Wouter right here. Will Pack take it home in his first finalist attempt? He has one chance before he could possibly be joined by two others. If Pack messes this up and Kappa and Dutchy finish P1 and P2, Kappa basically only needs to finish. Dutchy needs P1 or P2. If that happens, we're gonna have a triple finalist situation. Tween being a little bit too far behind. But, can someone note down that login so he gets banned? Thank you. That's a little disturbing. So let's see how it's gonna go. The pressure is definitely on Pack's shoulders right now. The pressure is definitely on his shoulders. He knows that he has only one attempt. Only one attempt. Oh, you couldn't see the login because of the logo. Alright, well, never mind. I got it down. Here we go. Pack now with the first finalist attempt. Will he make it happen? All eyes on the UK legend. Already a little bit of a safe start for Pack. You could clearly see that he was lifting off a little bit in that drift. So he finds himself on last place right now. But that way, we will be able to have a pretty good overview over what's happening here. A three-man battle for first, 16 milliseconds apart from first and third at their previously passed checkpoint. Pack now trying to make something happen. Keep in mind the players do have cars on. Tween now with the first mistake here, so one opponent possibly out of this. Let's take a look here at Pack. He is now attacking on the blue part, going up to first place temporarily. Now it is between him and Dutchy. Dutchy with a tiny tad more exit speed, jumping onto the platform now. Pack will still try to make it happen here in the last corner. Let's see who's going to get the upper hand right here. Dutchy going out for a very wide approach. Pack going for the inside line. Where's Dutchy? Dutchy will most likely not going to go for the overtake, and Pack wins. Pack wins his first finalist attempt, and he's through to the grand final. GG. What a comeback by Gamers Origin. Pack recovering from last place and goes for a super good second half of the track on Tranquilo and goes from 4th to 1st. Amazing performance by Pack. Absolutely insane. Double finalists now between Dutchy and Kappa. The tense is not over yet. We're gonna have the last round now on this match. Who is gonna secure himself the last slot in the grand final of this competition? The bottom two will drop down into the consolidation final. Only one of them will be moving forward to the grand final immediately. Will it be Dutchy or will it be Kappa? Or will Tween deny? Tween is actually first right now. Tween could possibly deny both of them. Tween is actually super far ahead, but this was not the greatest exit speed here on the blue part. However, he is still a whole 10th ahead of both of his opponents right now. Tween still leading over Dutchy and Kappa. Dutchy now having to lift off, and Kappa with very decent exit speed out of the right-hander, coming a little bit closer to Tween, but it's not enough to go for the overtake yet. The ending will be decisive. Tween knows that he is ahead, and Tween needs to make this ending happen now. He gets a transition onto the dirt, and he jumps low, and it was just so close. There was just a hair missing for Tween to not make that jump. That was really close, but Tween denies two finalists. What a man. What a man. 107 for Tween. He still needs to deny them 2 times in order to become a finalist himself. So Dutchy and Kappa now having both their second finalist attempt. Let's take a look at Tween, the absolute madman from Slovakia. He denied them once and he knows he can do it again. Let's take a look at him. Kappa with a very, very inside, very, very direct line. However, he wasn't losing too much grip. So that was actually a very greatly executed line by Kappa. And right now it will yield him P1. Also, good exit speed right here from Kappa, but Dutchy and Tween are not too far behind. One tiny mistake here by Kappa, and he could lose 2 positions at once. We're coming down to the final couple of corners. Tween not with the greatest turn here, so he will most likely not going to be able to do any sort of damage here, even though he's attacking Dutchy here in the left-hander. Kappa being a whole 10th ahead, so if he makes that ending, he is going to survive. Dutchy's out. Dutchy's out, and Tween might go for the overtake here. In the ending, he's going for the low jump, but it's not enough to go for the overtake here, and it will be Kappa that takes it with a 56.9, and he wins second place and will move into the grand final. Tween with great risk here. He knew he had nothing to lose, and unfortunately it was not enough to deny his own teammate in this match. Kappa and Pack will move on to the grand final of Gamers Assembly 2019.